David and Steve are intrigued by the discs mounted on the sports car, but John, an expert car and brake mechanic, is well aware that they're composite discs, and he explains what are the technological innovations that distinguish these discs from standard discs. The composite discs, unlike integral discs made up of a single cast iron piece, are composed of two separate elements, a cast iron braking surface and an aluminium hub. In particular, they are defined as floating when the two parts are held together by fixing bushes. The fixing bushes contribute to improving the disc performance because they allow the surface to expand without permanent deformations. In fact, during braking, the disc has a hot part, the braking surface, and a cooler part, the hub. It's important that the braking surface can expand without deforming or causing stress that could lead to cracks, which is the first step on the way to braking. This type of disc allows radial dilation of the surface, preventing permanent deformations and stress. The floating discs often have special ventilation, either pillar or oriented, in order to better disperse the heat, and holes or slots for superior disc and pad performance. The aluminium hub, instead of a cast iron one, allows the weight of the disc to be reduced by about 20%. Compared with the vehicle weight, this reduction could seem marginal. However, it has a very important impact on fuel consumption, performance, and car behavior, since the disc is part of the vehicle's unsprung weight. Any parts that remain at the same distance from the ground are defined as unsprung weight, such as the wheels, tyres, brakes, hubs, semi-axles, and shock absorbers. On the other hand, sprung weight refers to all the parts of the vehicle suspended from the suspension springs, such as the chassis, the engine, the body, and the gearbox. The ratio between sprung and unsprung weight can, by itself, define the behavior of the vehicle and of its suspension in general. Normally, the vehicle begins to be comfortable when this ratio is above 5. A compact car usually has a ratio just about 5, whereas a higher segment car can exceed 7 points. In addition to greater comfort, a higher ratio refers to a car that suffers less from the impact caused by bumpy surfaces and consequently is more precise, stable, and reliable in terms of dynamic performance. Some of the unsprung weight is also made up of rotating parts, which have a rather relevant moment of inertia, such as the wheels and discs. These weights, besides being accelerated and decelerated linear to the vehicle's drive direction, must also be accelerated and decelerated in their rotary motion, thereby using much more of the engine's power. Emissions reduction is one of the most important targets that car manufacturers must face in the near future. Therefore, being able to reduce the amount of unsprung weight increases the amount of available power and reduces consumption and emissions. Floating discs are used on more powerful and sports cars, but some of the solutions that we see on these discs are also used on braking systems for lower performance vehicles, thereby providing significant improvements to the system's braking capacity and vehicle safety. Keep up to date at bremboparts.com. Brembo, technology and sharing.